We have some more breaking news, this time coming out of Nigeria. I want to thank Reverend Gary of Kentucky. I want to thank Larry Britt, both of them getting these articles to me. But out of Nigeria, a pastor refused to renounce his faith in Jesus Christ, so the Islamic extremists slit his throat. High school students were taking exams in defiance of the militants Boko Haram, whose name means Western education is forbidden, so the gunmen mowed them down at their desk. The group that Nigeria's government has declared a prohibited terrorist organization have declared war last week on youths who have been arresting, and they have been arresting suspects and handing them over to soldiers fighting to crush the insurgency in the northeast part of Africa's most populous nation and the continent's biggest oil producers. So, Boko Haram is a radical Islamic Muslim militant group that have been continually going around blowing up Christian churches, Catholic and Protestant, doesn't matter, mowing down Christians, murdering them, shooting them in the head, cutting his pastor's throat, murder and massacre and the madness, the meanness, these Muslim militants, these misguided messengers of Mecca, and the millions of people they're affecting. I'm here to tell you right now that in the last days, Jesus said this would happen. Wake up! Let me say to the fluffy, puffy preachers in America and maybe other parts of Europe, wake up! Stop ignoring it. Start telling people we're in the last days. Start preaching to them what the Bible said would happen in Matthew 24. Jesus was sitting on the Mount of Olives when the disciples came unto him privately. In Matthew 24, verse 3, they said unto him, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places. And all of these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Folks, we're living in these days in Matthew 24, Luke 21, Mark 13, and as it's also is being fulfilled in Revelation and different parts of the Bible. The Arab Spring is actually the Antichrist spirit moving into the glorious land. You can find it in Daniel 11, 41 through 45. Also, the fall of Damascus in Syria. That's found in Isaiah 17, verse 1, and Jeremiah 49, 23 through 27. Also, the burden of Egypt. It's found in Isaiah chapter 19, verses 1 through 6, which includes the moving of the idols, the spinning of that idol there in England that was from an Egyptian pharaoh tomb, the movement of the idols, the brother against brother, the neighbor against neighbor, the kingdom against kingdom, the city against city, the fall of Jose Mubarak, the destruction of the governing council, the rise of the fierce king, the cruel Lord, which is Mohammed Morsi, the waters of the rivers drying up, including turning the rivers far away, which is what Ethiopia is doing right now in Egypt. I have an article right here from Troy that tells you, will Ethiopia's grand new dam, will it steal the Nile rivers from Egypt? Egypt is newly worried about a huge Ethiopian dam called the Renaissance Dam. It's being built by Italian contractors. It's now under construction on the Nile's main tributary, a concern that reflects arid Egypt's overwhelming reliance on the world's longest river. Egypt and the Nile River are bound together. The Nile's called the God's gift to Egypt. Helped the nation become one of the first agricultural civilizations and still supports most of their farmland. But in Ethiopia, the source of almost 86% of the water flowing to Egypt is equally adamant that it has been denied a fair share of the river by agreements between Sudan and Egypt back in the 1950s that divided the river between them. Ethiopia, for 2 years ago, started building what they call Africa's largest dam, the Blue Nile. It is a clear indication, despite anger from Egypt, that upstream Nile countries will no longer simply accept what they feel are inadequate water-sharing supplies. What? Directly fulfilling the Bible's prophecy in Isaiah 19, verses 1 through 6. Verse 6 says, and they shall turn the rivers far away. What river would it be talking about? The river Nile. How do you turn the river away from Egypt? The Nile River. By building a dam. Ethiopia is fulfilling Bible prophecy in Isaiah chapter 19, verse 6. Those first 6 verses of the book of Isaiah chapter 19 are so prophetic, are so on the money, are so right now time we're living in. It should show each and every person that they need to give their lives to Jesus Christ. Christians are being murdered. Christians are being massacred. Christians are being thrown into prisons in North Korea and in China. Christians are being imprisoned. Even American pastors in prison, rotting in a prison in Iran. We know that Christians are being brutally murdered in Syria right now by both sides, Assad's armies and the Muslim Brotherhood's armies. We know Christians have been crucified and murdered in Egypt. We know Christians were beheaded in Tunisia. We know that Christians are being massacred in Uganda and Rwanda and Nigeria. I just read. Nigeria is horrible for it. Somalia has killed Christians. Pakistan has killed Christians. India has killed Christians. It just goes on and on and on, folks. We're living in the last days. Please, give your life to Jesus Christ. He's coming soon. He's coming soon. He's coming soon.